Hello, my name's Tom Pike. I go by he, him pronouns, and I'm just super happy to be here at the Cringe Festival. Uh, when I grew up, I was kind of a small person, a skinny. I didn't get a lot of attention from the ladies or in sports or anything really. It's kind of hard, being small. But then recently, I really realized, like, you know what? There's options. Like I could transition. So it took a while, but I finally decided. I came out of transitioned to tall, dark, and handsome, and it's really changed my life. It's like everything's easier. People look up to me. Like the ladies give me all kinds of attention. Some of the guys too. You know, I just really enjoy being tall, dark, and handsome. Um, so please, when you're talking to me, I don't need you to change my pronouns. I just kind of squat down. You can spread your legs apart a little bit so I don't hurt your knees. Just look up to me. Oh, hi, Fergie. See, Fergie looks up to me. Thanks, Ferg. And please just know altitude-based microaggressions would be appreciated. As you can tell from my dog here, Fergus, we got a dog recently, and I'll tell you about why we did that. Um, so people are rescuing dogs a lot these days. This one needed rescuing. This. Everybody's talking about the dog they rescued. I rescued a Chihuahua from Tijuana. I rescued some kind of dog from the racetrack. And it's kind of like there's a lot of honor in that, and it's takes a lot of commitment. So we decided to rescue. My wife and I decided to join the rescue community, and we rescued this mini Bernedoodle. Come here, Ferg. From Ohio. It was in a puppy mill, and so we rescued him. It cost us $5,000, and they delivered Fergus in a like a Sprinter van. They drove him out here from Ohio, and in the middle of the night they knocked on our door, and Fergus was here. So we were thrown into the rescue culture, and we kind of fit right in. And one of my buddies, Bernie, he actually rescued an English bulldog recently. Uh, and I asked him, "Wow, Bernie, that's cool. He loves dogs." And I said, "What's the circumstances? How'd you rescue it? What was the deal?" And he said, "Well, it was the breeding dog in a puppy mill for English bulldogs. So we rescued it." I was like, "Bernie, did you ask the dog? Like, kind of seems like it was living its best life. It's the breeder at a puppy mill. I don't know. Just saying." Um, but what I realized, there's responsibilities with dog ownership that are, yeah, that's right, Fergie, that are not great. Like picking up their poop. I always looked at people picking up dog poop. I was like, that's so gross. Like that dog owns you. You're like its servant, and but you got to do it. You got to be a good neighbor. So I got the dog bag, and I'm always following Fergie around, and it's a little hard sometimes because Fergus, Fergus has like let me show you the system. Fergie has he's got irritable bowel syndrome. So you get the bag out, and I try to like, it's not always diarrhea, but sometimes, and never know what's coming. So I try to get it before it hits the ground. Just so he's a good neighbor, don't let it hit the lawn. Sometimes it's pretty rough though, because it's really diarrhea, and I gotta pull out the ladle, and then I'm following him around. I'm like, come on, Brady, come on. I'm trying to scoop and poop right there. But once you get it in there, it's not a big deal. You got plastic there, and you just kind of tie it in a knot. Just tie it. You burp it, and get all the air out. And then just tie it in a knot. And what's kind of gross is in the summer it's really hot. So, one time I was like, I'm going to tie it on his collar. I don't want it in my pocket. It's stinky. So I tied it on his collar. My wife freaked out. She's like, dude, he's trying to run away from his, he can't sniff anything. She's like, you can't do that. So I was like, all right. So I put it in my pocket. But recently I realized when we were on a really cold morning walk, we do in the mornings, in the wintertime, I got gloves on, my hands are freezing. And I picked up that poop and I stuck it in my pocket. And suddenly I was like, dang, this is really warm in my hands. I start feeling my fingers again. And then I'd switch it to the other side to get the other hand warm. And I was like, this is actually brilliant. I'm actually thinking of getting another dog, get both hands warm. I just got to save up. I don't know if we can budget another $5,000 for a rescue puppy, but I think we're gonna do it. Yeah, and he's super well behaved. Never jumps. It's a good dog. Um, so one thing we started reading about dogs, is when you take them on walks, it's like a sniffari they call it. They're sniffing all the bushes, and it's like reading P-mail. They're who's been here, where they been, are they feeling good? They're checking all their P-mail on their little walk around the neighborhood, but recently, I was like, our dog's behavior changed. It's not taking joy in its normal things that it loves to do. It doesn't chase our cats anymore. It's not chewing up my shoes. It's kind of, I think it's depressed. And frankly, I think it's because, here's us talking about all the stuff going on with Trump and how disconcerting and terrible it is. And I think it's really affected him. I think we got to quit talking about that around him, because now when we go on walks, he just like sniffs, like just for a second on a bush, boom, sniff, sniff. He doesn't take joy in it. It's like just a habit, and it doesn't even look like he's having fun. I think he's just doom sniffing personally. I told my wife, we got to get him off of Facebook. We got to get him off of Instapush. It's not good for his mental health. And one other thing that was kind of challenging was, your dog Pole's like Fergie. He's not the best behaved. He's a good boy. I'm a good boy, Fergus. But he pulls a lot on the leash, and I ask people, how do your dog's not pulling? And they, well, look under here. There's a little shock collar. I'm like, oh, dang, you're shocking your dog. That's gnarly. And then somebody else was like, your dog never pulls. How do you do that? And he goes, well, see that little, like a cinch, you yank it. It's like medieval, like chain in the neck. I was like, ew, God. So I was at the Grange getting some food recently, and on the pet aisle, I saw Nut Leash by Ballbusters. And it was a simple solution. You just have a little string. It's lightweight. It's not like a big leash with a little rubber band on the end. It's cheap. It was like $9.99. Ballbusters hadn't run in a special. And all you do is we just like, basically you go out on a walk. You just take that rubber band. You just like wrap it around his ball sack, and then no more tugging. Like he like 5 minutes, he realizes, he tugs, I tug. He quit tugging. It's brilliant. So, I just want to say, like, I'm really grateful for the rescue community accepting us like they have, and it feels like I've really come home. So I'll see you at the dog park.